Hello YouTube, Thomas and Friends fan 43. Wow, it happened. After 40 plus years, we finally get the reveal of Down the Mine pilot, the original pilot of Thomas and Friends TV show before the show started. It has never before seen in all these years, and on May 9th, in honor of Thomas's 80th anniversary of the Railway series books, series producer Ian McHugh released the Down the Mine pilot video in public, and it was a miracle to see what the pilot looked like compared to the final version. The history of the Down the Mine pilot started back in 1983 when Britt Allcroft made the show, and this was the testing of the show before the series would make it to season 1. So the pilot didn't make it in, and the episode Down the Mine was made to season 1, episode 25. Over time, I say in the past 18 years or less, Thomas fans were speculating the whole Down the Mine pilot. Some shots from the pilot episode did make it to the final version, so we were all wondering, where was the Down the Mine pilot? Well, Mattel has that footage archive of the pilot, and then started a rumor back in 2021 or 2022 that Ian McHugh was gonna put out a Down the Mine pilot in 2025 for Thomas's 80th, in which Thomas fans were dying to see it. Well, now the pilot is not lost. I watched Down the Mine pilot multiple times, and yeah, it is really good for the time being, that is. I mean, yeah, there were changes, but let's take a look at the pilot. First they showed is the behind the scenes of the beginning of it, and then we see the first look. Thomas is at Lower Tidmouth Station, as expected from the final version. Thomas does have that happy face that was from Thomas leaving the big station part. The pilot model of Thomas has no red lining on his splasher, no lamp, and no lamp irons. Love that detail of the workman. And then here comes Gordon. Yes, that is his pilot model. Back in somewhere in 2010s, someone had a picture of the pilot model of Gordon, and I went, wow, it looks totally different than his final model. And then here's Annie and Clarabelle, which their models both made it to the final version, though Annie's face looks interesting than this one. There's Thomas's confused face, which about the same as the final version, but still looks cool. There's Gordon's angry face. I mean, it is a pilot version, so I'm not going to act like Gordon's face is good. My guess was it was trying to be the Railway series, where Gordon had these faces, but close enough. Also, this Annie face is something new. I've never seen that face before. Also, this shot was in the final episode. I'm assuming it's from the pilot, but it's probably reused, I guess. Love this shot of the guard holding a green flag and whistling, like this shot of Thomas leaving. Ooh, I love this camera shot of showing Clarabelle. Plus, I like how Clarabelle is shocked. Then there's the countryside scene, which again, it was reused in the final version. Now, last year there was a rare picture of this bridge where Thomas passed it. Did they not have the footage? That's strange. Anyways, back to the pilot video. There's this close-up of the signal box with Knapford's sign on it. And then there's this famous scene of Down the Mine pilot that was shown in the final version. And here's the mine. Looks pretty small set compared to the one in the final version. I still think it looks cool. Love this low angle shot of Thomas passing the caution sign. Then there's Thomas's smiling face. There's the danger sign that read, engines must not pass this point. Though they changed it later to, engines must not pass this board. Also, why is there a random truck that's not on the track? Weird. There's a close-up of the fireman, then a close-up of Thomas's driver in the cab. Notice his mouth is different. These shots of Thomas running and pushing the truck are kind of cool. Then there's the close-up of Thomas's whistle, which, by the way, that was used in Thomas and Gordon episode. At least the close-up was in the pilot first. Also, that whistle, that's not Thomas's actual whistle. That's Teleclin engine number 6 Douglas using that whistle, which resembles Sir Handel's whistle in season 4. And on the back of Thomas's pilot model, there's no lamp on the back. Now, the best part in the pilot was the crash. The close-up of the tracks with the ground shaking looks terrific. And the crash that Thomas falls into is great too. And so much better than the final version. Why couldn't the final version make that? Plus, I like the pilot Thomas O face. And here's the Fat Controller. His face hasn't changed because his mouth looked like these ones from those shots. Then there's Thomas's nervous face, no change there, but I like the tears added. Here comes Gordon again, and he has that smiling face, which the smiling face is not the same as the one in the picture. It's a totally different face. I like the close-up of the cable, but I think the final version is better. Speaking of that, the shot of Thomas's couplings was in the pilot, but more natural speed rather than sped up in the final version. Gordon's side rods looks way different than his other one, but I do like the shot of his wheels turning to pull Thomas out, and a bunch of camera shots of Thomas and Gordon chatting to each other. I especially like the close-up of Gordon buffered up to Thomas. But yeah, that's everything about the pilot. But I do want to mention Ringo Starr. Yes, Ringo Starr did narrate the pilot. The beginning stays the same, just with some missing ones, and the mine scenes are completely new. And the reason why is because they use the lines from the Railway series story. I can clearly see that Ringo re-narrate in season 1 back then, but it was cool to hear him again. Overall, Down the Mine pilot was pretty good. A great, never-before-seen experience of what the early show of Thomas and Friends looked like. Someday, I want to see more Thomas lost media that finally come into the light, and this is one of them. But that's all I gotta say about Down the Mine pilot. It was pretty good to see, and a great look for Thomas fans to see what it started and how they build the production. Happy 8th anniversary to Thomas the Tank Engine and the Railway series in general. I will see you all when I do more Thomas videos. See ya!